Oh, so that means we're doing it.
Yeah, that means
We're doing
rolling.
it.
That means we're rolling.
No.
What were you saying,
Nate?
Becca?
I was just gonna say there is one scene.
No.
I'm not gonna give any spoilers. Okay, this is just how. Okay, there is one scene in this movie where Nathan, I literally felt you rolling your eyes, and you weren't even there.
Yeah.
So,
How'd
so
that scene go?
I can't say that. I can't say
Go ahead,
anything.
say it.
I
Say the one
won't.
scene.
Instead of
I
rolling
won't.
over in his grave, Nathan's eyes were rolling
Take
over.
your
in his
headphones
head.
off.
I cannot. I am not going to give any spoilers about this movie.
How
It's
is
a-
one scene? Is it a major? I mean, is this?
It's
Oh,
yes.
man,
It's
some people
fucking
are
is it
real particular
major.
about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's major. So I cannot give this away for. It's been one day. I can't give this away. For
Okay, Patrick, put your stupid headphones back on.
You're good to go,
Said I can
Patrick.
put my headphones back on.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Okay.
people. Tell him
We
that
talked
what
her
I
off the
said was
ledge.
not a spoiler.
She didn't say anything. That's why I'm annoyed. She said nothing.
Hmm.
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna see it tomorrow.
I'll
But-
see you next year, tomorrow.
I'll see you next Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Next Thursday.
You too, Brad.
Party
Thursday.
time.
Coming for you.
Excellent.
Hey, Steve, show everybody that picture I sent you in the email. Not the one that's in the one that's in the story, just the separate
just
one.
the separate one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a church near my house.
Yeah, here, let me share it.
The Easter weekend.
That's funny.
Yeah, I took that picture.
YOLO. LOL, JK, BRB. Jesus.
That is what
Yeah, I think
they're appealing to
people
the youngsters.
People like it.
Yeah, for the listeners,
quality.
this is a church marquee where they've spelled out YOLO, LOL, JK, BRB. Signed, Jesus.
So for our older folks, I know our demographic really runs old, 70 plus. YOLO means you only live once. And then how does it go after that?
LOL,
LOL.
JK.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Be right back. Jesus.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's for the kids.
Yeah. You clearly you don't just live once.
I feel like, especially considering where that church is out in the country, in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, I feel like either you're gonna have old people going like, "What the hell is that crap?"
So
you're
is Jesus,
have the-
is
or their
Jesus saying?
Yeah.
Is Jesus saying that we have multiple lives?
Well,
gee-
Only
Yeah.
if you pick up the green
Because
mushrooms.
Just him.
They're writing it as a sentence from Jesus.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's a sentence
Yeah.
from Jesus.
He's like
is-
YOLO, but he's just
Well,
kidding about the
texted.
YOLO because
because there's the whole resurrection thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go, people watching the stream and the YouTube video after. You have your first two big clues on how to find where Nathan lives. You have the church that's near his house, and you have foothills of the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, I'd love to we'll have a contest. If
See
you
who
can
can find
find
him.
if you can find my camper, I'll promise not to beat you up.
Doesn't feel like that game could get uncomfortable.
It has to be like a key word though, so they could, as they're approaching, they shout some key word.
YOLO.
It has to be
Yes, YOLO.
sounding.
YOLO while they're swinging a pitchfork.
No, there's too many opportunities for other people to be walking past your house yelling YOLO. So it has to be something podcast specific.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
We're
has
always
to be.
shouting YOLO at Nathan, and he's always like
All the
JK, BRB.
Since I have been living in this spot for the last 9 months, I have only seen 2 people walk by my place twice, and it was 2 Mormons.
YOLO.
And I still can't figure out how the hell they got out here because they were just on foot. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. They're very dedicated.
They
at
parked
least
at the Faith Encounter Church, and then walked from there.
those people would not be happy to know if they knew Mormons,
Mormons were
had
parking
staged
All mics
had
on the back of
staged
their
their missionary trips from their church.
They've even got a little magnet on the side of the vehicle to let you know the address of the church.
Judging from that sign, it's a pretty hip church, or at least they're trying to be. You know,
Trying
a
to
be.
name like Faith Encounter and that cool
Yeah.
kind of like modern symbol they've got.
24/7.
They have the coolest of cool youth deacons there, probably.
He wears sunglasses in the pulpit.
Yeah.
Just call me Scooter.
Pastor Scooter.
Scooter. Pastor Scooter. Hey, Dave, what would Pastor Scooter sound like if he was giving a sermon?
He sounds just like a regular guy, just like one of you guys.
I'm just like you.
Yeah, like a regular guy,
You know how it is, guys.
I
I've
love
been
Jesus
there.
just as much as any other dude.
I've been there. There's no challenge too great.
That's very good.
And then
Nostalgic
let's
almost.
see, and then
I love Jesus, no homo, bro.
No homo, bro. It's my love for the J boy.
He's got like a cool name for the kids that attend youth group. Like they're the cool cats, and like it's CAT, like Christian Army terrorists.
Christian army terrorist. We're cats.
We're the cool cats.
Think of it this way. Everybody's got somebody. It's just the opposite sex.
He creates the Christian side hug rap. He performs it. And did you guys ever see that?
Yeah.
I think we even showed that on the
Yeah.
on the show once, actually.
Mhm.
That's him, same guy.
Should we show the other one? The Jesus Christ is my.
No,
No.
let's not show that. Wait, I think we did show that. I feel like we did,
Yeah. Like,
but let's not.
Yeah,
anyway.
let's not.
Yeah, let's not say we did, because we did.
Yeah.
Hey, so I don't know if I'm the only person that's extremely anxious to find out, but did we have any votes on our Lucifer versus Jesus battle?
We have no voicemails.
Well, son of a bitch.
Haven't seen anything on Twitter. So.
Yeah, and I'm just now pulling up Mixer. I haven't been getting the notifications that we've started anymore. I don't know what that's about.
Well, it may be a delay. I mean, I just now, like 3 minutes ago, got a text that you said, invite sent. I'm like, we're already in the podcast.
Oh.
I always get those texts late for some reason. I don't know why. Just those ones in particular.
just the
Just the
time-sensitive
group,
ones.
the one for us. No, the ones for our group text. Whenever it's time to go, they always show up later, and I don't know why. How
They're
you guys?
long.
How you guys doing? How's everybody?
Real tired. We got a
Fair
to
special
middling.
friend in town.
Very tired.
We've been-
Steve-O,
good.
you and Brad getting tired of being the hotel to everybody that
Not
you
at
know
all.
from anywhere?
Not at all. It's just the day after is very tiring. The day
Yeah.
We're good.
after, like the first big day, because every time anybody comes, it's like, well, whatever day me and Brad are off, let's go
That's
do
just
the day long
Day
wassail.
we do stuff.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just go walk down the beach, drink at every bar, come back, and that's an all day affair. and then I had to work this morning, so it led to much tiredation.
Where's
But I do love
Shonuff?
it.
Where is he
He's-
now?
He's nearby.
Oh, he's in the room?
He's under
See
Steve-O's
behind the
desk.
curtain?
Yeah.
A little softer there now. A little bit softer now.
Slow down.
A little bit softer now. Yeah, what about y'all, man?
Yeah, doing good. Allergies hit me hard today, real hard. But
Oh.
other than that,
What a drag.
doing good. Doing good. I went to optometrist today, and I bought some new glasses. I just gotta wait to get them. These are the
Cool.
most comfortable. I'm so excited. The most comfortable glasses I have
But are
ever.
they stylish?
Yeah. Did
The,
you think of, like those shoes that you stick your toes through the individual toe sockets?
This
Toe
this
socks?
this super gay older man with silver hair working at the place.
Mhm.
When
Foot Locker.
when I turned around, I was like, "How are these?" He's like, "They fit your face."
It's your face.
I was like, "Okay." And then he said, "Those are super comfortable." I said, "Yes, I know. That's why I'm getting these."
They fit your face.
They fit
So,
your face.
fit your
He
face.
didn't say. Now, see, I saw him talking to a woman who was she literally called her friend on her phone video and had him holding up the phone for her to look at her face trying on different glasses, and they were arguing back and forth, and his reaction the whole time was just, "It's not bad. It's not bad." So maybe he just doesn't really give out compliments to
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
not bad.
it fits your
That's-
face.
Yeah.
That's like a 4 out of 5 stars right there.
It's
not
not
bad.
bad.
3
it
stars.
fits your face.
I don't know. That's 2 stars.
God, there was a short time in my life that I wore glasses because I faked it. I'm sure I've told the story. I faked bad eyesight so I could get glasses because the girl that I wanted to be with, she was dating a boy that had gold frame glasses.
Oh.
So I wanted to get me some glasses, but I got silver. Anyway, so there was a time in my life that I wore glasses. And shopping for glasses is very tough. It's way tougher than shopping. I mean, I don't give any thought to clothes shopping anyway, but I know a lot of people do. But glasses, it seems like if I did wear glasses, I wouldn't want to, but I would have to give a lot of thought to it.
It's like buying an appendage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it basically is.
What shape arm do I want?
Yeah.
What color do I want my new arm to be?
I want it to fit, whatever it is. It
I want
definitely
it to
needs
fit
to
my
fit.
face.
It
That
fits
fits
your,
your torso.
it fits your shoulder socket. It's good.
It's about
Put
as
your
long
other
as
one
the
down.
normal arm.
That's about fine.
I mean, it's decent.
It could probably grab things.
It fits your torso.
Patrick, what's up?
Just found out I got invited to the beta for Mario Kart for Android.
Really?
Oh,
How'd you do
wow.
that?
I've been on their list. I got an email today saying that I've been invited to their closed beta for Android. I'll get another email May 20th for the beta testing.
Oh, that's cool.
So I gotta wait a month to play it on Android. So that'd
stream
be
it?
pretty
You
sweet.
probably can't. Probably part of the agreement is you can't stream it.
Yeah, because it's closed. So I don't think, and Nintendo does not like their stuff being streamed. So
Have they released that on? Is that on the iPhone, or that's not been released at all?
no,
on
it's
mobile?
not been released.
Oh,
Period.
okay.
This will be their first mobile Mario Kart.
Are they also releasing it for iPhone?
I'm sure they will. Whenever they did Mario Run, I think it was iPhone first, then Android. So they're probably doing Android first. Then
That might
iPhone
be
for this.
one I would want to play if it
Yeah,
controlled
definitely.
If-
decently.
Good.
I wish that Nintendo would just put out a controller, a mobile
Oh,
for
yeah.
iPhone and Android. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think they're going to make it. I think now, if I'm not mistaken, you can use an Xbox controller with it.
What? On an Android, maybe. On an
I
Yeah,
don't
there are
like
different
that.
things
Maybe an
you
Android.
can.
Yeah.
There's different things you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess the Xbox
It's-
controllers.
I
are
think it's just
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's Bluetooth. I mean, I've seen a Nintendo commercial where they are playing on that, and they have an Xbox controller in their hands.
Really?
What?
No,
No
you
way.
thought
didn't.
so.
No.
There's
No
no
way.
way. They would not do that.
There's no
Nintendo
fucking
has
way.
Nintendo has a
It-
Pro controller that looks
Maybe it
similar
looks
to,
similar. Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
similar to an
Yeah.
Xbox controller, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Nintendo's
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
I
we
looked
just
at
use
it and
this
went,
Xbox controller
"That
we
ain't
had
that
later.
It's
ugly."
cool. Yeah.
That ain't that ugly, janky controller they usually have. What's that in his hands? That looks more like an Xbox controller.
No way.
Brad, how's the ombre lifestyle?
It's doing all right. Spring break's dying down, but I was expecting to have Monday off this week, and I didn't have Monday off this week, so it felt a lot longer, and I'm just I'm tired and worn out right now.
And you walked all day with
I think I'm
with
getting
Todd.
cold too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that walk ain't nothing for Brad.
Here's what I asked Steve before we started, which he told me, but what I'm asking you now is, are you going to drag Todd out to the strip club so we have a story about Todd at a strip club?
Oh God.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? He doesn't listen to the show.
I was given instructions.
Oh.
Oh no, yeah, we've been alleviated of those instructions.
Oh.
for the most part.
Okay. I don't know.
What are you
I don't know if
talking
he wants
about
to go.
right now?
What? Did he make you sign an NDA?
Yeah, what do you? He said
We weren't supposed to
whatever
talk about
happened,
it.
you know, he doesn't want stories about him going around with his face in a stripper's asshole.
No, just more
No,
the
not that
whereabouts.
specific.
Just the whereabouts of
What?
where he might be.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Oh,
know
you mean
where it
how you're in Cocoa Beach?
Yeah.
Did Todd kill somebody, and is he on the run? You guys might want to be worried.
We don't
you know,
know, and we're
sometimes
not
people,
asking.
Huh.
you know, leave town and they don't want everybody to know.
But nobody knows. Nobody's gonna know.
Exactly.
I hate to break it to Todd, but nobody really cares that much. We're the ones that would care. That's why we're asking.
Hey, but while we're on the subject, last week we didn't have much chance to talk about our feelings and stuff. It was all super fight. I think that we
We
probably
didn't get to talk about our feelings.
do. We have a strip club story from 2 Fridays ago? Is there anything worth telling?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I didn't. I asked that question too before off the air. I don't think there was really anything that
Not really. It was. I had a stripper sit on my lap for about an hour and a half, and I gave her $3 total for the entire thing.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But it saved me a lot of money because having a stripper on your lap just is stripper repellent. None of the other girls are going to ask you about anything.
But it was
That mu-
understood, right?
Did she look happy for $3? Like,
Oh,
God.
she was just sitting there. She asked me if I wanted a lap dance. I was like, not right now. I got to pace myself. But how you doing? Started talking to her.
But you can sit
It's
here
that
for free.
mustache.
Well, I was sitting at the bar, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can sit wherever she wants.
yeah, she can sit wherever she wants. She gets tired. I
So
got
you were
30%.
providing her with a service.
she
Yeah.
should have paid you for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You figure something out.
Y'all ever been to a reverse strip club where the strippers pay the dudes to let them
Just
do
hang
their
out
thing?
and talk.
Yeah, it's called
What?
one taste. Is that what that was? Yeah.
One taste? Was that it? Was it called?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
such a bad
One touch,
name.
one taste.
I thought it was like one taste or first taste or something.
Look, he's
Don't
googling.
act like
Look
you
at him.
don't. Don't
He's
act like you
Googling
don't
like-
remember the name of it, Becca.
What are you
Orgasmic
talking
meditation.
about?
Yeah, it's
That's it.
I-
One taste.
one taste.
Taste.
It's so funny. I was watching the stream, and you could Steve was he's typing it and getting it all in there. Yep, that's what it is.
That's it.
Good, good. There are
Well, if
times
you're
to
watching the
text
stream, this thing that is on there right now, it's I'll share the screen so Nathan can see it. But
Just
This
Nathan?
is-
I want to see it too.
oh, I thought y'all
Nah,
had the
just
stream
Nathan.
up. This is just like a man-made wave, like for just surf training and shit. But this was built by the guy that was born here, the world famous Kelly Slater.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
He
That's
designed
cool.
this.
yeah. I remember hearing about him like when I was a kid. That guy was really. That's when he was really huge.
Yeah, and for audio listeners, it's a huge, like a really long pool. I don't know how deep it is. It's who knows? Could be.
Oh, it's
5
just
feet or
out in
10
the
feet.
ocean.
No, it's not in the ocean. This is like a pool, like a man-made pool. But then they drive this train through the water that has this wedge in the front of it, and it forms this wave on either side of it. That's they've tested it and done all the physics and figured how to make the perfect wave. I mean, granted, these aren't huge. These aren't like 50-foot towering waves, but they're big enough for them to actually get inside the tube. And I guess they can dial it in and maybe get a little bigger wave and a little bit smaller wave too. Just I'm sure going faster or slower would cause that.
At the beginning, he's like going straight for that dude that's in the water.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have tried to avoid him a little bit better.
Yeah, I would have thought there'd be some safety involved. Yeah,
No.
look at that. That's just dangerous.
He was telling him to get the fuck out of his pool.
Yeah, he whipped the water right at his face.
See, now I can't remember who I asked if they had something they wanted to talk about besides Steve-O. Dave, did you tell me anything, or Patrick, Brad? Nobody. It was nobody, right? It was just nobody.
Didn't
I
have
told you
anything.
about what stripper repellent is.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you see
yeah.
Joe Biden announced his run for president?
Damn
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah, I saw the worst.
That was a weird video.
Well, no, there's a picture that his campaign posted that is one of the worst things I've ever seen as far as the optics of it.
Yeah.
and I don't know if Steve-O could find it, but it was basically it was him kind of standing to the back and side of Barack Obama, like shaking his hand, and there's just a huge N over Obama.
What?
Like the lower hat, it's just an N. And
No way.
Yes, and the thing is, like, his whole campaign it's about normalcy. It's supposed to be back to normalcy, but the picture is
Back to
just a
normalcy.
huge. It's just like we've just been through this crazy hard time with Trump.
Oh,
Let's
right,
get back
right,
to
right.
normalcy. But the picture is just him with the one black president, and there's just a huge N over him, and it looks awful. Like what are you thinking, man?
I hope he finds it. I want to see it.
Yeah,
I'm going, hurry up, Steve-O, hurry up. I'm dying to see
yeah,
it.
I know. I don't see any with.
I'd say I'm riding with Biden.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I searched, Joe Biden campaign poster. Did I spell campaign right?
Oh, I think I found it. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
It's a white N in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
That makes it even better.
oh no.
Did you find it?
No, I
Nope,
didn't.
I
waiting
oh,
for you to
I got
put
it
a
right
link
here.
up there.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Instagram. It looks like here, but
We're on a roll.
Paste it into the
I'm looking at all
hangout
of them.
chat.
hang on. Here we
Very
go.
good live. Some good live fact checking.
Can
going
you?
on. It's working.
Here it is. Do you see it?
No. Oh, on your screen.
What
Yeah.
about now?
Here.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is.
Here.
Oh my God. That truly exists.
Yeah, it's real. I didn't make that
Holy
up.
crap.
What?
Oh, it's you found an article about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
wow.
that.
You know what's worse is that it almost looks like he's photoshopped into that picture.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't even look real.
Oh my god.
So it's a part of a larger picture.
Oh.
I see,
Oh,
That's even funnier, actually.
Wow. It's still subliminal. I'm certain of it.
Yeah, he could have put that in over any picture. He chose to put it
Anywhere.
right there on Barack Obama.
The oldest person to ever run for president is going off on a good first step.
I like how above it said one user put it. This is the only post that showed up in my feed. It looks racist as fuck.
Awesome.
That is. It's crazy. But when you put it in context, you see that. Wow. Somebody would clip the hell out of that.
Fucking dummies. I mean,
People
they had
got to
to
know how
make
the
it.
internet works.
They had
That's the
to
thing.
make it.
They don't understand the internet. They don't get it. The left, the Democrats do not get the internet.
Some things are just misunderstood.
Like there's another funny one. Like the UK has just shitloads of different political parties. And there was one, I think it was a new party. They form new parties all the time. They come in and out. A new one was called Change UK, Change United Kingdom. And what does that spell? Cuck.
Oh.
What a campaign.
Yeah. They had to. Nobody realized it, and it took a while. But then finally, people on the internet were like, just gave them enough hell to where they changed it. I think they just added in the H from change to Chuck. It's not. I mean, it's not good, but it's not as bad.
Better than cock.
Just about anything's gonna be better than cuck.
There's nowhere to
Join the
go
cuck
but up.
party. We're strong.
Like instead of like an elephant or a donkey, it's like a woodchuck with little teeth. That's the symbol for it. The Chuck Party.
Yeah. How much would a woodcuck cook?
Steve-O, what's going on with space?
Yeah, I had to send Nathan a text about a week ago informing him that if he was going to try to make it down here for a specific launch, he might want to just come sooner because he's been waiting for the launching people.
Yeah.
And, everyone's real stoked about it. And it's supposed to be by the end of this year, but something happened, oddly enough, on 420 out at SpaceX's pad. They were performing a test out at one of their landing pads, which there are two landing pads at Cape Canaveral right next to each other. But they had this test going with the Dragon capsule, the one that's supposed to launch humans. And this is the actual capsule that did launch back in March. I'm going to just show y'all what happened to it. But so they're on this test stand. It's a really low quality video. But it's on this test stand, and then all of a sudden they're doing a countdown. If you see the video with audio, which this is not what this is. Oh wait, actually it may have audio. It does. But they're counting down, and they only get down to T-8 seconds, and then it just goes kablooey.
You got audio. It's muted in the corner.
Well, but it's a GIF. Oh, okay. There is audio. Okay.
That's just a guy.
Okay, here you go.
So that's the capsule, the thing that would hold the people.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that explode? What is there to explode?
Well, okay, so they were running a series of tests. They had already gone through and tested the Draco engines, and the Draco is just the name for these thrusters that they use in space to position themselves. They're not a high thrust, but it's enough to just kind of move the spacecraft around in space. And then they have what's called the Super Dracos, and they're in this little thing here. Actually, it'd probably do a lot better to just bring up a picture of the Dragon. Here, this was pleasing to the eye. So it's
looks like a bullet shape for those listening.
Yeah. And these pods right here, there's four of them. There's one in each corner, and inside of each one is two Super Draco thrusters, and they're like really powerful. And what those are for is, in case the rocket explodes underneath it, those will kick on immediately and thrust the capsule up and away from an exploding rocket. Alternatively, the other purpose for them was originally going to be to land the capsule under those thrusters on the ground. That was SpaceX's original idea for recovering the capsule, was just land it back on the ground at Kennedy. But in order to do that, they had to basically have holes in their heat shields so that they could have legs protrude out of them when it comes time to land. And the amount of time it was going to take to develop that and make sure that there'd be no vulnerability in those cutouts where those feet would be, because it's your heat shield. It's the only thing keeping you alive when you're coming back from space. So they skipped that. So now their only purpose is to save. What's going on?
Who was that?
Who was? Somebody farted.
Who
did that?
was me.
It was who?
Patrick.
That was me.
Dave?
No, it was Patrick.
That was me.
So whisper quiet when Steve was talking.
Patrick was just testing his Super Draco thruster.
That's what I was doing.
All right. So anyway, that's the purpose
Obviously,
behind this thing.
Patrick's favorite part of the podcast.
Somebody make a fart noise. All right, Draco thrusters.
Okay, so because of all these different thrusters and engines and stuff, there is compressed gas in there. There's fuel.
Yeah.
As Patrick was just demonstrating for us, there is some level of compressed gas. And
Did you guys work this bit out beforehand?
When it
No.
when it escapes rapidly and in an unplanned way, it tends to get explosive.
Yeah.
And if there's any humans nearby, you can imagine how that might not be safe.
Yeah. Silent and deadly.
So actually, well, there you go. Here's the picture of this, that one of the photographers for Florida Today got. He was down. There was this surf fest going on the same day, and he got this picture. And I've seen other pictures that have a orange smoke, but I'm not. Oh, here we go. It's got more of an orange smoke here to it, and that's hydrazine. It's like a general term they use for it. It's really fucking poisonous, but there's these two chemicals, and I'm sure there's different versions of it, but if you take these two chemicals, as soon as they touch, they ignite. And this is what they use in a lot of rocket engines to get the engine ignited in the first place. You know, that you need some kind of spark to get it going, and that's what they squirt this stuff into the chamber, you know, the engine's chamber, and it ignites and blows, you know, continues to blow fire. So if one of these high pressure bottles explodes and those two chemicals come in contact, then it becomes explosive.
So this is what. So this all goes down to it's going to delay that launch.
Right. And I want to be clear. I'm not
to
implying any causes because we don't know the causes. One thing that did come out in the last couple days was that the type of test they were doing, they were trying to simulate the vibration characteristics of an exploding rocket, and they were trying to test the capsule under those circumstances, and then and that's when it exploded. So it might have something to do with all those vibrations, but. Yes, ultimately, all that is to say that the first human launches from the U.S. has been delayed because Boeing is also developing their capsule, but they've been delayed by actually a somewhat similar situation. They were doing an abort test, and something happened. I don't, you know, to be honest, I don't follow them as closely as SpaceX, so I'm not sure. And they're also a lot more secretive than SpaceX is. SpaceX is usually pretty forthcoming with information, and they're not. So yeah, so all that's going to be pushed back. Probably, if I was going to place a bet, I would say we're not going to see astronauts launched from here this year. I think next year sometime. Unless they find out that if it had something to do with just ground equipment or somebody fucked up when they were hooking up something, you know, and it was all isolated around some like human error, you know, in hooking the whole thing up. But, you know, probably it's going to be something that needs to be fixed in the Dragon itself, I would think.
Russians win again.
And actually, you know, it was in the last week or two that NASA went ahead and bought a couple more rides on the Soyuz just to make sure, because you have to buy those like way ahead of time. So they went ahead and bought a couple more for $80+ million per seat.
Damn.
Putin!
$80 million plus per seat.
Yeah, it's almost $90 million, I think, now per seat. In fact, it might even be more. Like those numbers, I think I heard it was like $86 million the last time NASA bought seats from the Russians. It was $86 million per seat. It might be more than that now.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money when we can launch one rocket for about that. I mean, you know, with the Dragon, it's a little more than that, but yeah.
Becca.
Hello.
I sent you an article, and I know I've said this before that this is the craziest thing I've ever read, but this one really is the craziest.
You just keep finding stuff that tops itself.
I keep finding new crazy people saying crazier things. And this one,
should I pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up. I want everybody to see this person who Becca is going to talk about.
Time cue.
Yeah, I'll read the title. Have you pulled it up yet?
Yeah, it's up.
Fat sex therapist compares fitness trainers to Nazis. Children's dieting to sexual assault.
What?
It's sexual assault?
Yeah, I just want to look at
why
Dave's
sexual
face the whole time while she reads this.
Say what?
Oh, you want to see her face?
No, I said I want to look at Dave's face, just the look of shock and dismay on it as she reads through this. Because you won't believe the things this person says.
You said fat sex therapist? What?
She is a fat, sex therapist.
I thought
she's not a therapist for fat sex.
No, I think that's what it means because she's advocating for diet, for not forcing children to go on diets, and then she's also advocating for sex
Fat
therapy.
sex.
So she's
Yeah,
a
I
fat
guess
sex
it would
therapist.
it would be I guess rude to refer to her as a fat sex therapist.
No, they are.
That's
No, they
title.
are
No,
doing
no,
that.
no. I
I
think
don't think
that's
so.
I don't.
I-
No, I think that is
I-
what they're describing.
no.
This-
Okay,
I
here's
think
how
it
I
is
know.
big people therapist.
But
It's
that's
put-
what she specializes in. I don't think they're calling her like they're not saying she's a sex therapist. Oh, by the way, she's fat.
no,
They
but
would
she-
say
read the article.
the
Though. She is
fat
fat, and she talks
quotation
about
sex
big fat.
therapist.
But I'm reading the article, and fat sex therapist is in quotes. So it is one.
Okay.
It is she is being called a fat sex therapist.
So
not,
she like. Do you think she helps them with like? Here's the position you can do and here's
no.
if you're feeling some shame about
Oh.
doing this.
Then you're in
Yeah.
the right hole.
I mean, that's her username, the Fat Sex Therapist.
Oh.
All right, well, we'll put that aside for now. Becca, let's hear this article.
No,
Alright.
do we have to?
Yes, Dave, we have to.
All right.
The very first thing, there's two bulletins that kind of give like the overview of what we're about to dive into. Fat sex therapist recently gave a talk at St. Olaf College in Minnesota in which she compared personal trainers to Nazis. In bullet point number 2, she further compared a parent putting a child on a diet to sexual assault. So this is a quote from her. I truly believe that a child cannot consent to being on a diet the same way a child cannot consent to having sex.
She's got a lot of good points.
So far, yeah, they're great. Sona Lee, her name is Sona Lee Rashatoire, whose Instagram username is the Fat Sex Therapist, proclaimed Thursday from the main stage at St. Olaf College. She continued, I experience diet culture as a form of assault because it impacts the way I experience my body. These comments and more were made in the context of her 2-hour speech sponsored by St. Olaf's College Wellness Center, Women's and Gender Studies Department, and the Center for Equity and Inclusion on the topic of radical fat liberation.
Radical fat liberation.
Oh man.
Free the rolls.
Free the rolls.
Did I sound
and the
British?
butter.
You did, yeah.
What? Oh no!
You became Russell Brand there.
I'm sorry. It just happens sometimes. I forgot where I was.
Radical
Fat
Okay.
liberation.
Okay, thank you. The talk included assertions that fitness contributed to the recent Christchurch shooting, that people should challenge the rule of law as well as the authority of the police.
What?
I'm not sure how that's connected, but tonight we're going to start by talking about how to politicize our definition of body image, Rashatoire began, because oftentimes we actually get stuck thinking of it from a white supremacist lens.
White supremacist lens.
She explained how white supremacy happens every day in all these little things.
It's all over the place.
Is that the name of your glasses frame, Nathan?
White supremacist, yes.
White privilege.
White privilege frames.
They fit your face.
In my shaved head.
We should be critical of the use of science and the production of knowledge to continue promoting this idea that certain bodies are fit, able, and desirable. Is it my fatness that causes my high blood pressure, or is it my experience of weight stigma?
Oh.
What? What?
God.
If
people
would quit saying I am fat. Wait a minute. Let me redo
Blood pressure would go away.
Hold on. Let me
Medically.
redo the voice. Let me redo it. Hold on.
If people would quit saying I was fat, I wouldn't have high blood pressure.
How dare they use science?
I wouldn't say better, but it was
It
good.
was accurate.
All right. She then connected the science, suggesting that obesity is unhealthy, to Nazism, saying that fat-phobic science is often actually eugenic science. Eugenic science is Nazi science.
Oh my God.
It's not eugenics.
Oh.
Wait a minute, it's not science.
Oh, okay. Basically, what she's trying to say. So the eugenicists, they were people that they wanted to basically do selective human breeding.
Yeah.
Cut out, like
Not
they
dieting.
they were actually sterilizing people. We talked about this before. They would sterilize convicted criminals and all kinds of shit. Or judges would just order that, and even in the United States, that was happening. Yeah, but she's trying to say that any kind of science involving the human body, therefore, is Nazi.
Yes.
And since Nazis were into this, the Ubermensch, pure race shit, that means then anything involving the body and science is Nazi ideology.
Oh my god.
It's fucking crazy. That was
Who
the
are you
talk
to
of
say
college.
what's healthy or desirable? Science
I mean,
would say it.
I don't know why one day you have to have diabetes medicine, and then after a little bit of exercise and a better diet, you don't have to have diabetes medicine. Huh.
It's all in your mind.
It's all in your mind.
guess
it's
so.
because people stopped calling you fat. It's not because you got healthy. It's because the people stopped calling you fat.
So is climate change science Nazi science? I mean, because that's like science.
Yeah.
Probably.
So like
course
real
it is.
science is just Nazi science.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Any
anything-
science is Nazi science.
Well, we were talking about rockets earlier, and that's definitely Nazi
That's-
science.
yeah,
Well,
100%
yeah.
Nazi
Yeah.
science.
Just
It's all von Braun and all over that.
Yep.
Becca, read on because it gets even better.
It can't possibly get better.
Oh, it does.
This highlighted part that I'm looking at, I don't even understand. I'm going to say something about it.
Highlighted. Oh. Up here.
Okay, just stop me when you're ready. However, she then pivoted to support scientific findings as she pondered intentionally pursuing weight loss, claiming that what we're discovering scientifically is that that's not possible.
There, right there. That's what I wanted to say something about.
It's not possible?
Maybe not possible for her. Okay,
You can't intentionally pursue weight loss. Okay.
when I was 15 years old, I weighed 90 pounds heavier than I am now. Okay.
Boy.
And what I did? I fucking decided to start eating less.
Yeah.
And I changed that. And then fucking a few years ago, I was 30 or 40 pounds heavier than I am now because I had gained some more weight. You know what I did? I decided to take the weight off, and now I'm deciding to take more off. I quit drinking, and I lost 10 pounds in a week and a half.
Yeah, but
Nazi.
that's just one data set. That's just
Fucking
one
Nazi.
data set, man. You can't expound on that and apply that to everyone. You got healthy because people stopped calling you fat.
Yeah,
No, he used that Nazi science. Is what he used.
After addressing the topic of science and making her claim that there is no connection between high blood pressure and obesity, Rachatoire turned to discuss political philosophy and policy. Go on.
Where are her studies?
Yeah.
Well, this is an article about her and how silly she is. It's not
It's-
going to have her studies in here.
Hey,
It's gonna listen to
anecdotal
her talk.
evidence is still evidence. Okay?
If you'll scroll back up, what I thought was the highlighted part are actually the related articles. Stop right there. Related. Colleges dropping fat studies courses in 2018. There were such courses?
Fat studies.
Of course.
I mean, how would we know anything about fat without fat studies, Dave?
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, how would we know?
You don't know this, like, this whole body positivity movement now is like literally attacking companies for having like people that look too good
Yeah,
in
like-
ads.
Like Nike or Adidas or something like attacking.
And
them.
I'm going to send this to Steve-O, something else to go along with this, but continue on with that, Becca.
Okay. The conversation about pushing off our own well-being onto the individual is part of these 1980s Reagan-era policies that, again, tried to move...
Reagan's fault.
Blame Reagan for something else.
try to move that structural obligation of a system and this society's safety net onto the individual.
Right.
This is written weird. Did you understand what I said just then?
Say that again. Say it again.
Okay.
Because I think I'm.
This conversation about pushing off our own well-being onto the individual is part of these 1980s Reagan-era policies that again try to move that structural obligation of a system and this society's safety net onto the individual.
I don't know why she's connecting it to Reagan, but basically she's just saying like
People
they're
should be
they're trying to
responsible for
tell us
themselves.
it's an individual's fault, but what I'm saying is it's society's fault that
Okay.
I'm fat.
Instead of thinking that there should be social supports that also help me to subsidize my food costs.
Yeah, she's saying that they were wrong to give people the responsibility of their own health, and it should be up to the society.
Yeah, it's not her fault. It's that she's fat. It's society's trend changing to you're responsible for your own personal well-being and your behavior.
But she's saying
So-
you shouldn't have to be.
Right.
She's
You
saying
should-
It should not
you
be up
sh-
to you.
Yeah. She doesn't make any sense.
It shouldn't be my responsibility to keep me healthy.
It's not my fault I'm not fat.
You should have smacked the cookie out of my hand.
God, I would love to do that. Just see her sitting there with a cookie in her hand. I'm
Cookie
helping
bounces
you.
once.
You made me do it
You said you wanted this.
by doing nothing. You said it was okay. And look at me now. What you've done to me. I'm just fine.
Well, her solution to these problems of society requiring individual responsibility was calling students to challenge all authorities, not just the authority that science has given, but also legal authority. The same way I want us all to challenge laws. I want us all to challenge prisons and policing.
Anarchy in the UK.
Man,
Just food fights everywhere you go.
is she? She's not.
Chucking cheeseburgers and fries, milkshakes.
She's starting a
Riot.
whole new trend. She's a fat archist.
Bad Arcus.
Nice.
She specified how she personally enacts these ideas in her life as a sexual trauma therapist. She said that in her professional role, her code of ethics dictates an absolute prohibition on physical contact with clients. However, she claimed that I will never
No
live-
matter how much they beg me.
she claimed
Yeah, unless they beg.
She claimed that I will never live by a professional code of ethics that tells me what I am allowed and not allowed to do with my body.
So
How is
she?
So she'll live a life without any kind of discipline.
Yeah.
No, she's saying, but she's now taking what we know about nutrition and the science behind what happens if you get really fucking fat and saying that is an ethical thing. It's not a scientific thing. It's an ethical thing. A scientist telling her that if you're fucking 300 pounds overweight, you're more likely to die from all kinds of shit. That's him suppressing her. That's him like ethically attacking her and telling her how to live her life.
Hashtag skeletons love butter.
Steve-O, do you have the picture of her up there? Have you showed it?
Yeah, it's up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
you have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, that's right.
No. But that's okay. Okay.
Mm,
That
no.
looks she looks like
They chose
That-
the most
that-
flattering
no.
photo.
she looks like that comedian Fluffy.
Fluffy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
She looks what's his name? Gabriel Iglesias?
Yeah,
I
didn't
think
he-
that's just
Yeah.
him with a wig on. I
can
think.
see that. I was
Could
gonna
be.
say she looks like the villain principal on a Disney TV show that's only there for one episode.
I mean, this whole thing sounds like a joke, anyways.
Yeah.
It's all real, Dave.
Well, I'm
Oh,
gonna
real.
after we're done here, I'm gonna watch every stand up that Gabriel Iglesias has ever done, and I'm gonna look for clues to see if I can match
Did he
those
die?
two together. No.
No, he's still alive.
Oh, it was the other really fat dude that died.
Ralphie
Yeah.
May.
Ralphie May, yeah, that's what it was. I was thinking that too.
Do you want to hear how she took a crack at the recent events like the Christchurch
I wanna
massacre?
Oh,
hear
yes.
this connection
Oh,
she
yes.
draws.
Rape
Okay.
and the guns.
I do not think it's surprising that the man who shot up Christchurch, New Zealand, is that how it's pronounced? Christchurch?
Christchurch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to say. I wouldn't want to live there. All right.
A lot of earthquakes there too.
It's like Maryville. I'm sure the locals have some way of saying it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just Christchurch.
Christchurch.
I mean, it's the
Christchurch.
name is kind of self-explanatory.
I don't think you have to hit the T very hard. You can just say
Christchurch.
Christchurch.
But it's because of all the choir I took in high school, it's really hard for me to not dictate. Does that make sense? No, like there's this thing we have. Okay, say the word twists.
Twist.
Twist.
Twists.
Twist.
Twists.
Twist.
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 Twists.
Twist.
You just hit the S longer.
Twist.
But I can't not. I've tried and I can't not do that. It's
Yes.
just all that vocal training I took.
Oh man, I'm just too good to be bad.
Oh man.
Ah.
That's not what I was saying.
Is that a Michael Jackson song?
Becca, read the rest of his.
Be bad.
Okay,
Read the rest of that quote.
I got to start it over because you have to
Yeah.
hear it in its entirety to really be impacted. Okay, I do not think it's surprising that the man who shot up Christchurch, New Zealand was also a fitness instructor.
Oh
my
my
God.
god. Oh my god.
Have you seen Heavyweights? Can you imagine
Oh,
Ben Stiller's
goddamn.
character, the crazy workout guy?
There you go.
That's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
After making this claim, she added that the shooting is a clear communication that there's still an idealized body. Nazis really love this idea of an idealized body, and so it makes a lot of sense to me that a fitness instructor might also think about an idealized body in this thin white supremacy way.
I'm sure she would think of that.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
It
that
make-
a fitness
yeah.
instructor would think about white supremacy, you know?
What is that voice?
I know. I completely get why you have fuzzy, ridiculous logic. So yes, you would believe that. That is so.
That is
Oh,
so
man.
something you would come up with.
Yes.
Well, after the lecture, Campus Reform spoke with Will Dowdy, a freshman St. Olaf student in attendance who had lost over 100 pounds during his own personal health journey.
Weird. What a Nazi.
Yeah.
The
Fucking
entire
Nazi.
speech was very troubling to me, Dowdy said. I
Okay,
know from
now we all know that he's a New Zealander, right? Isn't he? Isn't he
Uh-huh.
a New Zealander?
I think no. This was the college that she was speaking
This
at.
is in
At St. Olaf.
Oh.
Where's St. Olaf? Are you trying to get me to
It's
do an
in-
accent?
No,
He
it's
said-
in Minnesota. It's where one of the
Minnesota.
yeah, it's where
One of
one of the
those.
Golden Girls came from. She's always telling stories about St. Olaf.
Yeah, you know how Blanche rolls. Come on, man.
Not Blanche, it's that other one. It's Betty White's character.
Oh.
She'd always say, "Back in St. Olaf."
I have not watched enough Golden Girls to know that.
Yeah, that's
It's for all those diehard fans. out
yeah.
there.
Shout out to our, like I said, we have a
Shout
very
out to the
nice-
Golden Girls.
To the Golden Girls that are listening right
Yes,
now.
to all you, to all you
Golden
All our
Girls out
Golden
there.
Girls.
sexy ladies in their golden years.
Well, they don't talk weird, do they? I mean, I don't have to do a weird accent if I'm trying to talk like Minnesota.
Talk like you're from Minnesota.
Basically, it's like a
Minnesota,
I
yeah,
know.
Canadian.
kind
accent.
of like
know from-
Dakota, North or South Dakota.
I'm gonna see. I can't listen. You guys know I can't do this. I know from personal experience that health is absolutely connected with weight. When you decide to give up and claim that doctors are lying to you, when you decide to give up,
Give up.
when you decide to give up and claim that doctors are lying to you and you're perfect the way you are, all you truly end up with is repressed emotions and an early funeral. I can guarantee that maintaining healthy eating habits will help me live a much longer and healthier life than I was originally on track to have. Your life can only improve if you take responsibility for yourself. I like this guy.
Amen, brother.
hmm So is that woman just like the female equivalent of what an incel is for a guy?
Oh, what?
Incel, just somebody who's completely given up. on
Kind
women.
of.
They just hate him.
Yeah.
She's kind of doing the same thing, but she hates herself. But she doesn't hate herself, but she hates you for thinking that she hates herself because of what you think of her. You know.
Yeah, you can't think about it too much because none of it really makes too
Yeah.
much sense.
Yeah, because then you start hating thinking about it.
I just like one of the comments, scrolling down the comments somebody left that said, "Is anybody else going to mention the elephant in the room?" And that's all they said. They just... Is there any more?
There's another comment. What the fug? The only good news is she'll die of a heart attack soon and leave no offspring.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
These are the only 2 comments. Good job, Internet. You came through for us.
Yeah, great. Becca, was there any more on that article?
It just in closing says Campus Reform, which is the place that this article was posted, also reached out to the St. Olaf Media Department about Rashator's claims and that the values of a fitness instructor parallel those of the Third Reich. No response was received. So they tried to talk to her about it, about her Nazi declaration, and she won't talk back.
That's because these people don't answer questions, direct questions like that.
Yakety yak. Don't talk about.
I've got a bucket of chicken. Let me get back with you.
So yeah, this goes along like what I was talking about, the body positivity movement. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, let's not be a dick to somebody that's overweight. That's not the point. Just this idea that denying the science behind it and making it literally treating having good looking people in movies and even video games. I don't know if you know, there are certain games now where the women are intentionally made ugly. They often will make game characters that are women look ugly.
Apex Legends. That's what game that is.
There's a bunch of games like that now. It's a thing. Like even Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat game, the guy specific, this game in the 90s was on the forefront of like anti-censorship because it was one of these the first super violent games that came out.
The good one.
There were people in Congress talking about Mortal Kombat, talking about how it was going to corrupt children. And now the new one just came out and they have dressed, like all the female characters are completely covered up. Like half the guys are shirtless, but all the women are completely covered. And they're just, the makers of the games are just totally virtue signaling to everyone saying, that's just objectifying women. We can't have any of that.
So
but they'll still show a man getting his spine ripped out.
Don't like shake around or anything anymore.
No.
I mean, they had some of the coolest kill moves, but as long as Scorpion still does that thing and then pulls him back, that's badass.
Another great example of this, Steve-O, did you see that email I sent you?
No,
a few minutes ago?
I thought you were sending me one, but I never got any kind of verification.
Yeah, I did send you an email.
All right, hold on. I gotta switch.
Becca, do you have any thoughts on this article? You've been reading it.
Yeah, it's hard to comprehend what I'm reading.
That's why I have you do it, so I can just sit back and do jokes.
Oh, okay. So I'm driving the car, basically.
Yeah, it's
and
hard
I don't
for
get
me
to see and count all the deer in Kate's Cove because I'm driving the car. All right. You try to tell me it's because I have the sexiest voice, but no, it's because you want to sit in the passenger seat and look at the.
No, I just think you're good at it, and I hate doing it. I always stumble over it. I like being able to listen to hear it, and you're good at it. So, and you do have the sexiest voice on the podcast. That is definitely true.
I'd like to have some more accents.
Well, that's really not going to happen.
Well, what does this lady sound like?
This
Wow.
So that's
oh dear.
That was the Gillette Venus ad that was on Twitter. Just
Okay.
for
I'm sure they sold some
see.
extra razors for that one.
Glitter plus razors. Yeah.
What?
Well, that was unintentional.
Play the day.
Right? That's
It sold some extra.
Yeah.
For those listening, it's a picture of a very large woman with her arms spread wide, is standing in the water at the beach, just living the life.
She looks happy.
She's got the victory fingers going on. See?
She looks
Yeah.
happy.
Looks very happy. There must be a taco truck behind that camera right now.
Wow. Wow, we just have to do like the complete polar opposite of what this lady is doing
Yeah.
to balance out the universe.
I have to balance the universe. I have to make a few fat jokes.
That is so far left. You have to jump hard on the right.
That's what happens. That's
I don't want her jumping anywhere around me.
Oh my god.
It's a weighty situation.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, it'd be like the Jax move, ground pound.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Jax.
He's the,
I was
he's
thinking
the
of
black
Tekken.
guy with the really strong arms and
He's got
Blade.
metal arms.
Metal.
Speaking of Jax, and going along with this, the new woke Mortal Kombat. Apparently, if you play story mode with Jax, his ending is to he says basically like he's tired of society taking so long to get woke. He actually says to get woke to the social issues going around. So he goes back in time and ends slavery before it happens, and the Earth becomes a black utopia afterwards, kind of like Wakanda in Black Panther.
I have an idea that just sparked a really good idea in my head. We're gonna make a movie. We're gonna make a live action
Black Panther
story
2.
mode. No, it's live action story mode Jax, and fucking
Who's
shit,
gonna
I
wear
lost it.
Who's gonna wear blackface?
It's gonna be played by Kanye West.
Oh, okay.
That's for sure. He's got to play Jax.
Now, do we have to rip his arms off too?
We could use CGI.
Okay.
Probably. Okay, don't anybody steal that idea. That's my idea.
Wait, what is the idea?
It's a movie. We're
But
making
what's-
a live action version of the story mode of Jax. Like, we're just gonna literally take it frame by frame, the video game. So how long is that gonna be?
Okay.
15 hours?
Okay.
Something like, we'll make it like The Stand, where it's like a 6-part TV movie.
Those arms look great on your body.
They fit your torso. So
Well, wait a minute. Did that guy? I feel like that gay man at that glasses place did not emotionally validate my appearance enough. Is he a gay Nazi?
Well, at the very least, you could probably do like a customer care concern about it.
The gay
Yeah.
guy's a Nazi. I just know it.
Let's go back there with a video camera and see if we can't reenact that vape shop situation, or the GameStop one. You get in there and get in his face because he told you that it fits your face.
How does it fit my face?
How does my fist fit your face? Ma'am.
See if we can get that to go viral. That'd be great press for verbal assault.
Any press is good press.
Dave, how do you feel about this whole what we've been talking about? I haven't heard you really rant on it as much as I would like to.
I'm trying not to run over everybody and stuff, but it's just ridiculous.
Dave, you're not
You
that
all-
big. You're not big enough to run over all of us. Somebody might be.
There's I mean, it's way too comfy. It's life wrapping you up in a nice cozy blanket, and you never want to get woke from the realness of
No,
what it is. It's just, I don't want to make a change, so I'm gonna make something of what I am, so I don't have to change.
Make it honorable. Make the way that I am honorable, so that I don't have to change.
I don't have any problem with having a good, positive self-image. However you want to go about it. But don't go about it at the expense of some other section of the society and label them this way.
Calling fitness trainers Nazis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I decided to be a fitness trainer because I used to weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, does that make him a Nazi because he lost 300 pounds and
he wants,
however long it was?
He wants
And
to
He's
now
offer
like-
to let
healthy?
you pay him to help you get fit too.
Yeah, no, he's
Everybody's
like
got
one
a-
of those. He's like one of those Jews that helped the Nazis. It's even
Everybody's
worse.
got a story. Your story isn't better just because you say it is. I mean, It's just bothersome. And everybody has to have some personal accountability. You just have to. You can't just say, I mean, you don't get pregnant from the water.
But I want the government to subsidize my food.
I mean, and you know what? That's quite possible that it could happen. I still think the system's broke, but if that's what you want, I think you still get that, but probably not as much as you want.
Yeah, I don't get that point, because if the government subsidized her food, it would not. It might cover, one meal. You know what I mean? It's not. It's going to be like what science deems as a normal, intake of calories, and that's how much you get.
Yeah, if they had a fucking, let's say they did this, they got this big thing going, they developed a ministry of food. And do you think now, let's say that the minister of food then said, okay, to this woman, here's your portion of broccoli, and here's your fucking piece of salmon.
Well, that's Nazism. You're forcing me to eat these healthy things and implying
it's communism,
that it's
isn't it?
somehow better than what I.
Well, I know it's given to her. Do you think she would eat the thing that was given to her if
Where's
she
my
was
fucking
subsidized?
Where's my fucking government pie?
Communism.
Well, she wants everything else given to her, so why not just accept that too?
I want some free government pies.
It doesn't matter if somehow by some fucking fluke people got behind this and like it became a big thing and we somehow managed to eradicate all of the fat shaming in the entire world and all that shit. They would just move on to the next thing. Everybody it's not a school uniform, it's a world uniform. Everyone wears the same clothes because this person can't look better than this person, regardless of how it looks on them. Everybody has to wear the same uniform. People need to learn how to take fucking accountability and take responsibility for the choices they've made that got them to where they are. They need to do that rather than expect that everybody else just accept them for what is wrong with them. And I don't say that as like whatever your problem is something that's wrong with you, but people like that, they can't hear that there's something wrong with them. They don't want to hear that they are not good in some way. And so they're making it public. They're making it extremely public that they want acceptance. And it's too much. I don't know why.
It's like the ultimate walking in the room and pointing out that you have a zit on your nose. It's like, no one can call me fat because I've just put it all in your faces and told you how you're all Nazis because you want to be healthy.
It's too much.
I don't get the changing the science, it's you can use blood pressure, but what about all of the other there's many things that you become unhealthy because of being overweight. Not just high blood pressure. That's one, but maybe of 20, 25 things that start failing. I mean,
well, statistically, and I don't, statistics might get too close to science for her, but statistically, overweight people don't live as long.
Right. You have a body age weight.
Yeah.
So at a normal healthy weight, you can live X. But if you're this weight, you have the bones and the liver of a 60-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like I can just, if I was with this woman and I said, "Hey, let's go for a walk,"
she'd shame you.
And I'll walk at her speed. Who's gonna have to sit down first?
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? And who's gonna have hurting? Who's gonna be hurting all over and then get out of breath? It's self-evident that I would be healthier,
right? Just
from the fact that I could walk all day and she would have to sit down after literally what? Some people literally can't walk half a mile.
Yeah. I mean, I get that it's a sensitive issue, and it is, and it is, it's sensitive and personal to me.
Hey, too. I grew up I was a super fat kid. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. It sucks. That's why I changed it.
This is too extreme. I mean, I don't. So I mean, even with my personal connection to it, I still don't I don't get the far extreme end of it where it's not my fault. I have it's society's. I mean,
You're unhappy.
it's your perception of the reality. Even though that is your reality, it doesn't make it the reality. It makes it your reality.
She's unhappy, and she's trying to put that onto you so that she can feel less unhappy, because they are putting it onto her. The world is putting it onto her that she's overweight, therefore she is unwanted. And so she is putting back something worse. I'm going to call you the worst thing I can think of because you're treating me this way. It's just bouncing. It's bouncing back that negative feeling because you just can't handle it. I hate it.
It's crazy that she doesn't have enough motivation to fix this thing about herself, but she can develop a talk and stand in front of people and talk for 2 hours and
I bet you she wasn't standing.
I'm
I'm serious. No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. I guarantee you she didn't stand for 2 hours. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I know people that can't stand for 2 hours. I know people that can't walk half a mile.
One of the reasons that, like, years after when my dad died, I gained back all that weight that I had lost when I was a teenager, because I was just depressed eating. All I did was eat all day for a year, like 2 years. That's all I did, and I had gained all that weight back up to, like, 80 pounds, 90 pounds heavier than I am now. And one of the reasons I decided to start losing that weight is because I went to a concert for one of my favorite bands, and it was standing room only. And I was standing there the whole time, and I was in pain, like severe back pain by halfway through. So I'm like trying to enjoy what's happening, and I'm just in agony.
Yeah.
And I got so mad that, I had gotten to that point again. That's one of the things I decided to start to change it,
Right.
So it's.
Well, it is a struggle. It's a struggle for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But the wrong thing to do is to project that struggle on other people. The right thing to do is to face your struggle and work it out, and within your own head, instead of putting your problems on somebody else.
I don't know how it's my fault that you decided to biggie size up your combo. I don't know.
You need to subsidize that super size. It is unfortunate that that's one health issue that is so obvious. Like you can't see, like the damage that I've done to my liver. You can't see that, and you won't shame me for it.
Well, that's true.
It's unfortunate. That's you can't see the damage I've done to my lungs from smoking. And certain.
You are shamed for smoking.
You are, but not if you don't see me smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, like,
that is true.
So many health issues. I don't think anybody would ever shame someone for, like, having cancer or something like that. But self-inflicted health issues, a lot of them, nobody would even notice, much less, think anything about it. But being overweight is one that everyone can see.
Evel Knievel broke a lot of bones, but everybody still liked him.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent point.
Yeah, he hurt his body, but he was a hero.
Yeah, he was a
That's
hero
right.
for it, yeah.
I'm dying to see you crash again. Do it.
Oh, I can't wait to see you smash into the other side of the Grand Canyon.
You really think you're going to make that? Shit.
I don't, but go ahead.
Brad, how could we make overeating as exciting as somebody jumping a bike over a canyon?
Put a lot more sparklers in the food.
That's perfect.
Brad's on it. See, I hadn't heard Brad say anything for a while, so I had to.
He looks like he's
Brad's
just
got
he's
got it.
silently dying over there.
No, I'm just watching this GIF of the guy running through the glass maze.
One, huh? This will be the last.
Yeah. One. This one's a good one. It's 5 professional soccer players taking on 300 school children.
No way.
And they whoop the shit out of these kids.
Yes.
Can't
If
see
I was
it.
Dave right now, if I was Dave and I had to make a Dave joke right now, it would be, you said that Brad's on it. He's so on it, even his t-shirt knows.
Ah.
That's good.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Nobody noticed that me and Nathan are shirt twins today.
Yeah, we're twinsies.
Oh.
We're gonna occupy Wall Street.
What was it you were telling me? Someone saw your shirt and it said that they were watching the.
Yeah, it was the optometrist. She
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
yeah,
walked
yeah.
in. She just walked in and said, "Oh, me and my husband were watching a thing last night about the rovers on Mars." And I had actually forgot what shirt I was wearing, so for a second I was like, "What the fuck is she
Okay.
talking about?" Oh, and I was like, "Oh yeah,
Did you-
oh yeah."
Did, did you just confuse me for my friend Steve-O?
Yeah,
I don't know anything
Exactly.
about that shit.
I said, "Oh yeah, it's cool."
You guys are the same person. You have the same birthday, the same t-shirt.
Yep.
Just the pair of glasses. That's the
I've
only
got
way I
the
can
black
tell you
one.
two apart.
I think his is like the gray stonewash looking.
If Steve-O would take off his hat and I would take off my glasses,
We pretty much look the same.
we.
Oh my goodness. It's the same person.
Wow.
I'm not sure which one's Nathan and which one's Steven. Oh wait, that one's Nathan.
The glasses, they fit his face. That's how we know.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Put that side by side on Twitter.
Wait, so how come you don't have those glasses already?
Gotta wait for him to come in.
I thought lens
They had 'em-
crafters, we do it in an hour or whatever.
Well, it wasn't lens crafters, but they did have them by the end of the day. But I had to be leaving. I couldn't stay there, so I'll pick.
What
them
are they
up
doing
Sunday.
back there? Do they actually start with just a blank block of glass and grind it
Yeah.
into the right shape? Really?
No, they
Yeah,
have
the
lenses.
machine.
They have lenses already. They have
Yeah.
different size
Then
lenses
what
already.
takes so long?
Because they
We
refine
still
it.
have to shape them into
Oh, okay.
the right size.
They start.
You
with the
work
shape.
faster. You work faster.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought you were talking to these soccer kids.
Except they're
Kids
crazy.
are never gonna make it
Yeah,
on the
Insane
world stage.
coaches.
All right, we got a real problem here.
Do we?
You haven't been writing.
No, I'm. Please. The real problem is Jesus or fucking Lucifer, man.
Oh, I
How-
was just gonna let it go.
Oh.
To draw.
I can't. I'm
Well,
crazy.
maybe some
block.
of our listeners take a little longer to get to the episodes, and maybe next week or the week after we'll have some.
Yeah.
If we get one voicemail, we'll just go with that.
We'll decide
One
it.
vote.
Yeah.
One voicemail will decide it. But if we get two, well, we're going to be in trouble if they don't.
Yeah. So.
They need to vote because that's the last time we're ever playing that game.
Yeah, and your comment about voting for the new game master, it's not like I've ever been good. Like why
Becca has been panicking over that all week, probably.
Oh,
that was.
I didn't even remember
yeah,
that was
I
a
didn't
thing.
remember that. I had to assume that was a joke off the cuff.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yes,
he'd
it
been
was.
planning on finding a way to bring it up to me, I'm sure, for just months and months. No, my games have
Brad,
never
you're
been
it.
good. You guys hate my games always.
No.
Every time.
No, it's just that one that was really terrible.
And it's funny to give you shit.
But we made it funny anyway.
Yeah.
I know.
The
We're
pick-
gaming.
It was
game-
what
Played
was that
maybe
game? It
2
was
games since I've been back
That
on the
fly by
podcast.
night
That's it.
game.
That's it.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, I
The
think
one
it was
yeah.
that's
Where the
it.
answers weren't like even the most popular answer. It was just
Yeah, they were
some
just-
pick the one that we
answer.
want.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was we
Perfect.
played it twice. You guys let me do it again, so it's on you at that point.
I think that's because we didn't know what it was until
The
you
second time
started.
around. Yeah.
I tricked you.
Yeah. Is this that game? Ah.
I'm basically Loki. What is he? The
God
joke-
of mischief.
Joker
I don't know if he's a god.
God of
but,
mischief.
Joker
Yeah.
man,
Yeah, he's a god.
The Joker man.
Yeah.
the god of jokes.
The
That's
trickster.
me.
He's a trickster god.
He's zany.
Yeah. Becca,
Yeah.
here's the thing you are the best at, and that's poetry.
I know.
And rolling dice, apparently. I don't know. What was that?
Are you playing D&D over there? What's she doing?
She's rolling the dice to see if she'll actually read this poem.
She's so good. She has 3 poems. She was rolling the die to see which poem she was going to use.
Roll her 3-sided dice.
If I tell you what it actually was, it'll ruin the mystery. So we're going to dive right in here. This poem is called Ombre Lifestyle. I always pause for your giggles after the name of the poem.
That's nice.
Right. Changing the science, the optics of a controller to form a new hate, the thing that would hold poisonous delay, trying to simulate isolated human error. I should have asked before I started, but ultimately some things are just misunderstood. A bothersome accountability for those listening.
I was really hoping you would work one of my fat jokes into that, but
There were many to choose from.
yeah. Thank you, Becca. Thank you to Haywood Banks for our theme song that everybody tells me they skip. You assholes.
I don't, and I won't ever.
I replay it.
I love it. It's 1 minute long,
It's
and
the
it is
perfect
perfect.
song.
It is
Yes.
a perfect message for our
Do not
podcast.
change it.
Anybody that tells me that goes on my shit list. You hear that, Jerry? You're on my shit list.
And Brad said it too.
Brad, you're on my shit list.
Yeah, I got time
I've
for
been
that.
there before.
I have one shit list. It says Brad on it.
It's just Brad, but then
Yep.
erased and then put there again. And
Yeah,
then
that's
erased.
it. Yeah.
Hey, tweet us your shit list at _ verbal assault _ and help us get that Twitter a little more active. Give us a reason to be active. I got it on my Twitter app now, so I'll tweet stuff there whenever I think of something to tweet. Or you could leave us a voicemail of what your shit list is or who's on it. Brad, what's that number?
Leave your voice shit at 865-316-6955.
What if they want to give us money?
Oh, you can find us on Patreon. You can send us money there, and you can also leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
That's
Yeah,
very
that
or
helpful.
wherever you can get your
helpful.
podcast.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Everybody likes that.
Also, watch
Yeah.
our videos on YouTube.
Yes,
If you want to see after the fact, see the actual video, check it out on YouTube. You'll find it. You search it. All right.
Oh,
We
Dave
just have
lost his
to, we just have to end it. Yeah.
Dave lost his privileges, remember?
Oh, did he?
Why did he
Oh,
lose
did
his
well.
privileges?
2
Because-
weeks.
Because he deuced before I did my poem.
he
Oh
deuced.
yeah,
Premature
yeah, now I
deuce.
remember.
It's like he just pulled the e-brake on that railroad crossing. That's what he did.
Womp womp.
I guess we just stop it then.
No,
right
no.
there. I
we
guess
have
that's
to do,
the end.
we have
Guess
to do
we're done.
something
Who's in charge of the
ceremonial.
deuce? then?
I think I should be, and I think that what we should do is we
Just
should
end it,
have
Steven. Just
a
end
do
it.
re mi situation.
we should have a deuce off.
We should have a deuce off. Deuce off.
All right, who's man enough to go first?
Should we all just take turns saying deuces and just vote?
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Deuces.
Deuces.
That was obviously me doing Dave saying deuces.
You stepped on my
You realize-
deuces.
I did. Oh, so sorry.
Deuces.
Oh yeah, that was.
I
Good.
call a truce. Don't step on my deuces.
Anybody else got a deuce?
Anybody else that's not Dave?
I'm trying. Deuces.
Mm.
Patrick.
Deuces.
That's good. That's a
Patrick
good
wins.
one.
All right, well, leave us your votes.
Let's end it after the deuces.
I'm not worried.
Tweet your votes at
Dave, Dave,
Hashtag.
your privileges are immediately reinstated. Please say deuces. for
hashtag
God's
deuce
sake.
off. Come on, hashtag deuce off. Let's get it
Hashtag.
trending, yo.
Yeah. Hashtag deuce off verbal assault.
I do this.